I haven't talked about Windows 11 yet. I feel like when Microsoft makes a new OS, it goes in either one of two directions, towards productivity or towards mobile accessibility. So this is another OS that was made for the masses. And I think Microsoft really needs to stop trying to make one flavor for everybody. This is like the oldest marketing story in the book. You need to make different flavors for different people. Linux does this. There's already a version of Linux out there that's beautiful and looks like Windows 11 and works a lot like Windows 11. Microsoft, why can you not make a productivity mode and a sort of mobile entertainment mode that you can toggle on and off and just have a Windows 10 desktop versus a Windows 11 desktop? Why can't we have that? So what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to show you where I get my Windows 10 keys. We're going to do an ad for that because I use Who keys all the time. And my Windows 11 keys now, you can get them there. But I'm also going to show you how to save a little money by getting the Windows 10 key and then just simply upgrading to Windows 11. And then I'm going to make Windows 11 way more friendly when it comes to a productivity standpoint. We're going to make this a lot more usable. The first thing we're going to do is head over to whokeys.com, and you can see you can get all kinds of different things here, but we have a coupon code for Windows 10 and Windows 11. The coupon code now until January 3rd is TS30, and that'll save you 30%. Here's Windows 10 Pro. You can get Windows 11 here. Now notice that this is a higher price. You can still save the 30% on this, but if you want to save yourself the hassle and you know you're going to be using Windows 11 and you want to have a Windows 11 key that you can install on different machines and move and stuff like that, this is the one to get. And we've got Office 2019, which I've grabbed one copy of. I've grabbed 8 copies of this so far. And then we have Windows 10 Home and then Windows 10 plus Office 2019. If you are going to be moving to Windows 11, and you use a local account, meaning you don't sign in with your Microsoft account and have access to all your Microsoft stuff and you got your OneDrive and all that. If you don't care about that stuff, if you're like me and you want a local account, you have to use Windows 11 Pro. Windows 11 Home makes you use a Microsoft account and everything is tied into that. So consider that, and that's why I use Windows 10 Pro and Windows 11 Pro. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on in this video. And if you ever notice any stuff that it's like, oh, that's not how I log in or anything like that, that's probably because you're using a Microsoft account and you are logged into Windows that way. So we're going to do a local account. All right, so once you're here, you can go ahead and just buy now. Bring you here and just do your coupon code TS30. All right, $15.91 is what you're going to be paying instead of paying the crazy retail prices. Once you're finished, if you want to access your key, you click on your name on the top right, click on User Center, and you'll see My Purchase Orders. Right here, you'll be able to view the keys that you've purchased just by clicking on View Keys and Codes. Then you will see your code right here. Just go ahead and copy this code, press Start, type Activate, and you'll see activation settings come up. Click on that. Then click Change Product Key. Right there, you can paste in your code and hit Next, and then you will be activated. It's very simple. So go ahead and get Windows and Office activated and do it at the same price as the wholesalers do it. Let's get back to upgrading Windows. So I'm on Windows 10 here. If I want to upgrade, there's a few different ways we can do this. We can upgrade from right in here. After we've already unlocked it, your Windows 11 copy will be unlocked. So I can hit Start and type Updates, and you check for updates. And right inside here, it's going to say if you can install it. You need to install all your updates first. And sometimes you may see like, oh, Windows 11, that says this PC currently doesn't meet the requirements to run Windows 11. I wonder why that is. So we need to grab the PC health check and find out what it is that's keeping us from upgrading. It could be something in the operating system, but it's probably something in the BIOS for most of us. So download the PC Health Check app right there. Okay, we can run this and then it'll see what's up. Just go ahead and hit check. TPM 2.0 must be supported and enabled on this device. So what this means is that you are going to need to reboot your computer, and immediately once you reboot, start pressing delete or F2. You can press delete, F2, delete, F2. You have to keep pressing those two. That is the button that will let you enter into the BIOS or the UEFI so you can change your settings on your system. Now you're going to need to navigate over to your boot menu or possibly your security menu. It's different on each system, but what you're looking for is TPM. You want to make sure that is enabled. Sometimes it'll say Trusted Platform Module, sometimes it'll say Trusted Platform, sometimes it'll say like Intel Trusted Platform. Make sure that that is enabled. You can also check to see if your fast boot is enabled. If you're unable to upgrade using Windows Update, just right in your Windows settings, you can go ahead and make Microsoft update to Windows 11 by downloading the Windows 11 Installation Assistant. So this is a very simple URL. These are all going to be in the description. It's microsoft.com/software-download Windows 11. The Windows 11 Installation Assistant is the one that's the easiest. It's just a program that runs right here, goes through an upgrade process, almost just like Windows Update. Takes 20-30 minutes and then you'll be done. If you want to do it the old school way, you can still create installation media. So grab the Windows installation media if you're going to be using a USB. Download it, follow the steps, make sure your USB is in the right port. Don't overwrite any extra. If you have other USB drives in there, make sure that the right one is being accessed. So once Windows 11 starts its installation process, it'll take a little while. It'll start and stop, and it's just going to be a bunch of next. All right, so what I'm going to do next is, I haven't used Windows 11 yet, and I'm just installing it on my laptop right now. So you're going to see my first impressions. If you want to skip past that and get straight to the tips and tricks, well then you'll see the link in the description that tells you right where I start customizing Windows 11. It's like, Windows 11 customizations. So look there. But right now we're going to have a little bit of fun and just see my first impressions. All right, rounded edges. Oh, these icons look a little more like something you'd see on a mobile device. Taskbar alignment left. That's the first thing I'm going to do. The difference in this and other operating systems that have center aligned icons, this one has a start button, and that should always be on the left so that it's not moving. As you add icons and add programs to this, it's going to change the position of where the start button is going to be. So I don't want it to be here. I don't want it to be here. I don't want it to be moving around. I want it to always be in a predictable position. That's UI Design 101 Microsoft. Come on. These rounded edges are really ugly. This extra space right here, I don't need it. It feels big and bubbly at this point. So, these rounded edges. God, I feel like all this bubbly rounded edges stuff is worse than the Windows ME era. So let's try to try the dark theme out. Okay, we got theme. That's nice. Glow, okay, we got background, okay, neat, not bad. Okay, we got more theming options, and when you maximize it, this goes to the corner. I was worried to be some rounded edges even here, so that's not too bad. The taskbar is still huge, so I'll figure out how to make that smaller. This is like half my... This is way too big. Open up the file menu, bringing me to the quick access. This is okay, but I like to go straight to my hard drives. We can do a compact view. Okay, that's a little better. Still have so much extra space here. We don't need all this junk. Let's go to the options here. Let's start it up with this PC. God, this feels kind of like a mobile version. And yeah, there we go. Now we could try opening this up again. And it goes to the PC. There we go. These are very bright and colorful. Can we still resize by holding down the control button and scrolling? Yes, we can. I don't mind the new settings menu here. It's pretty slick and easy to get to most of the main things that you need to get to. And if you need to go to something nerdier, you can press Control-Shift-Escape, which brings up the Task Manager. And that's still here. The Windows key X menu still brings up this menu with a lot of your power options. If you need to get to Device Manager or something like that, you can quickly get there. So I have the old school control panel here. All right, I'm going to use this for a day, and then we'll come back and, see what else we can do with it. All right, so first impressions aside, yeah, it's time to make this into a desktop operating system. I feel like there must be an inside joke in Microsoft where they want to be like the Star Trek of the software development world, and they have to make sure that every odd numbered or every other release is terrible, just awful. So I guess it's not every odd release, but maybe that's why they switched to 10, because they knew 10 was good. 7 was good too. So yeah, it's every other one, just like Star Trek. But now they're on the odd release schedule. So 11's going to be terrible, 12's going to be great. It'll be more of a desktop operating system. I guess that's what they're doing. Yeah. Anyway. So it's still Windows 10 under the hood, which is good in my opinion, but the things that they've done to, I guess, make it a softer experience, these rounded edges and stuff, really don't sit right with me. They've taken up a ton of extra space here on the bottom with this taskbar that you can't move and work with. This junk over here on the side, this won't do it all. I want my old stuff back so I don't have to pop this up and down every time. This is not a mobile operating system as much as they wish it were. By the way, I put the start menu in the left where it belongs. So now my mouse knows to go to the corner when I'm clicking on start. Of course, pressing the start button still works. And then I want to get rid of some of the extra space here. I just feel like we have 25 to 30% less stuff going on the screen, and I don't like that. So first thing I want to do is get rid of the rounded corners. Let us kill them. All these links are going to be in the description. Over here on the right, you'll see releases. Grab that one. Latest release is from October 12th. And then we'll grab Windows, disable rounded corners.exe. Some of these things are new, I like being blocked. Keep this file. Yes. Show more options. Keep anyway. Do this at your own risk.
Do this at your own risk.
All right. To get to your downloads, if they don't show up, just press Control-J. That'll bring up your downloads. Go to my downloads folder. There we go. Disable or restore rounded corners. Let's give it a try. Whew, it worked. Make sure this is closed down and do not run this again. I don't know. That just feels more like a desktop OS to me, I guess. All right, next up, there's a program called the Ultimate Windows Tweaker 5 for Windows 11. And this is going to allow us to change many of the features and make this a much more productive operating system. A lot of this is just undoing a lot of the garbage that Microsoft has done. So I'm just going to grab it from Major Geeks. You can download it here by going to the download section on the windowsclub.com. Major Geeks has always been fast and it's right here, so go ahead and download that. All right, cool. There we go. This is going to be a zipped file. You can just right click and extract this. It'll ask you, where do you want to extract it? You know, I've already done this once, but there we go. Yes, I'll replace them, so we'll start all over. All right, there it is. It's downloaded and extracted. And then right in here, there's a program called the Ultimate Windows Tweaker 5.0. You can run that from here. Now I'm going to copy this somewhere else just so I can know where it is. I'll put it into, make a new folder here called Fun. You can put this anywhere you like. You can even run it from the downloads folder, but put it in Fun. All right, this will run as administrator, so here we go. It's like, oh no, don't do this. Don't do this.
Okay, do this at your own risk.
First thing you want to do is create a restore point. If it's the first time you've ever run this program, it'll ask you to create a restore point. So click here and create a restore point. I'm going to call this before tweaker. Just give it a second, it'll create a restore point. Then we can move right on. Okay, cool. It's successfully created. So if we break a bunch of things by messing with this, then so be it. All right, first off, system information. That's what we've got. Yep, there we go. I'm using this on my laptop. And customization, the Windows 10 styled contextual menu. So check this out. When you right click on a file, it gives us this much. Whenever I right click on anything, you know what I need? I need this menu because I'm actually going to do something. But no, this is what we get, and we have to come down and press show more options. Why not just take me here in the first place? The declawed Windows, they need to stop trying to make one flavor to please everybody. Make an easy mode and make a productivity mode for your OS. Windows 11 looks beautiful. It can be great for an easy mode, but I want this. Apply, watch it all freak out for a minute. Yeah, it's all gonna freak out. Just go back to those downloads, right click on a file, and look, oh God, it's so beautiful. Yes, this is what we need as power users. Okay, so you can go through this granularly if you like. I'm going to talk about security and privacy. I'm going to leave most of my security settings alone for now, but under privacy, we can disable telemetry. I'm going to disable Cortana, unless you really need Cortana for some reason. Anyway, if you don't want the web search, put that check mark right there and apply. Disable application telemetry. So that's pretty cool. There we go. The context menu, we can actually add stuff to that, which is nice. Desktop contextual menu. Is that back here when I just right click on the desktop? Oh, cool. Notepad, that'll be handy. With the middle, sure. Let's just see what happens when I apply this. I haven't tried this yet. Oh, cool. We can put it on the bottom or top. Taskbar, this is handy. So you get the idea there. You can add and subtract stuff there. Additional. Use autoplay. Yeah, sure. Small icons. Let's try this. Smaller. Let's make this smaller. So for the rest of customization, we also have taskbar. See all this big stuff here? Check this out. Small. Small. Yes, left, and apply. It feels good. So File Explorer, this is great because instead of having to go to view, you can just tell it to go straight to this PC when you open it up. Change your drag and drop behavior, and then you can change the behavior of all the stuff here in your File Explorer. You can go through this on your own. Universal UI, that's everything. That's the lock screen, and that's like, you know, all that stuff. There's not really much here I need to change. Disable the Bing web results. Yes, I don't need that. That's all I'm going to do with this for now. It's fine. Restart your computer. All right, let's restart the computer, then we'll keep going from here. Alt F4 on the desktop. I want to make sure we still got that. Before I go on, let's go ahead and Ninite this thing. Now I'm going to go over to Ninite.com. I know there's alternatives. If you want to use Chocolatey, please use Chocolatey. I'm just going to grab a few things. So I grabbed Firefox, randomly pick one of these. Let's do Foxit for a PDF reader. Classic Start, don't install it from here because we're on Windows 11. So don't install Classic Start. I'll show you a different way. Definitely going to grab Notepad++ and FileZilla. I prefer 7-zip because it does all the other ones, but even better. You can install whatever you like, but there we go. That's my Ninite for now. If you've never used this essentially downloads everything that I just put a check mark on into one package, show details. It's going to download and then install each one of those things that we put a check mark on. All right, Firefox. This is the browser that you should be using. It's not based on Chromium and it's open source. If you want a little more ridiculousness, then go ahead with Vivaldi, but there we go. Let's get back to where we were with fixing things. Now we have some options to replace the start menu with something that's far more functional for a desktop user, especially a power user. Now our options are StartAllBack is the most useful. This costs money. How much money? $5. Almost as much as you paid for the Windows Pro serial number. But it's worth it in my opinion on Windows 11 because it does a few things that are beyond just the start menu that I really can't argue with. So that's option number one. Now just remember something, if you're on Windows 10 and you want to use StartAllBack, you can use StartAllBack. It's called StartIsBack, but the Windows 11 version is StartAllBack. And then there's also Start 11, which is very similar, but StartAllBack does more than Start 11, so that's why we're using this one. It allows us to ungroup whenever there's multiple tabs and you want to have each one of them as a separate icon. It allows you to ungroup them and stuff, and that's something that Start 11 does not do yet. It may do soon. And then if you want a free option that's probably a little nerdier, I really like Classic Shell, or it's now called OpenShell. But you can still go to the Classic Shell forum and then download new start buttons and stuff like that. It's a ton of fun. So that's what I use here, and I'll show you right now. Okay, this may be a little bit small and hard to see, but this is the classic, the OpenShell, now they call it. See this? This is what I use on my main computer. Look at all these programs I've got installed. It's old school. This is similar like Windows 7. I've got the Windows XP somewhere in that range. Just I'm using some features from each. You know, I've easily got access to my control panel, and it's a dropout. And if you want to control OpenShell, well, you just open up your OpenShell menu, which I've got there, but you can open it up. Normally when you open up, it'll look like this. It allows you to pick your different styles. I've got the Windows 7 style. If you want to do like really old school, we can go classic style. There we go. Look at that. Bringing it back. OpenShell menu again. Go classic style with 2 columns. This will be familiar to Windows XP and Windows 7 people. There we go, and open that up. 2 columns. Very useful. You can drag and drop stuff up here. It works totally fine. But now I'm going to have to do this because I OpenShell menu settings. I'm going to go back to Windows 7 style. Then we have our different start buttons. You get the classic, it's got the shell logo right there. Or you can use a custom logo. So let me just pick an image here. And as you can see, I've created some custom logos. If you want the Burning Earth orb, I'll give you that. If you want to create your own, you can go to their website and get a template. And then you can just add, you need 3 different states. You need the active, inactive, and hover. See when I hover over this, how it glows a little bit. I know it's small, my monitor resolution's crazy, so sorry about that. Look at that. So that is classic shell, and we have our different settings here. You can change the skins. A lot of things you can do with this. You can even like change the taskbar colors and stuff like that. You can make it. And then if you do show all settings, there's a lot more that you can go into beyond the scope of this video. As you can see, we can change a lot here. We even have different skins you can use. I'm using Midnight. You can go online and get more skins for this. So there's an awful lot you can do with this program. And I use it on my main rig. So if you go with the classic shell, you can head over to their forum. So if you want to change your start buttons, you can come here and just grab some of these pre-made ones. I just drag and drop them into a folder, or you can right click and save them as. If you drag and drop them to a folder, they're all going to be called file.png, so you got to rename them, but it's whatever. And then here's the way you've got to make them if you want to make your own start button. Have fun with classic shell, but we are going to use StartAllBack. Let's go ahead and get this version. Downloading version 3.1.5. Install for everyone. I'm the only one, but I don't care. All right, so now we have a few different options here. We're going to go through these together. Proper 11, it still keeps the style, but it makes it far more functional. And notice I've got my squared off edges. Let's fix this right now. Okay, there we go, fixed. Don't have to worry about that again. Hit start. There we go, that looks nice. So this is kind of like Windows 11, but I find we could use more, right? We got kinda 10. I love how responsive this is, but 7 Remastered, it changes everything, including the style on the bottom. Now these are just quick themes that you can apply, and we can mix and match. So I actually prefer my classic. I'm going to go with kind of 10 just for now, you know. Actually, proper 11 was fine as well. But then we can come in and granularly change all kinds of things with the start menu. Like we have the check mark here for use large icons. That's already unchecked because, you know, whatever. Display as flyout menu, Windows XP style. This is the Windows XP style, the flyout. When you hover over something, it has it fly out, which I really like. So, oh God, McAfee, every time I'll get rid of you in a minute. So override the sort order, and you can do whatever you want. Folders first, if you wanted to, but we'll leave that alone for now. You can go through this to your heart's content. Ooh, look at that. Videos, yes, please. And then it's up to you what you want to display on there. Network, yes. This PC, yeah, sure. Do a menu. Now when we click over here, we've got that stuff we can get to. There's this PC, which of course brings up File Explorer. I'm enjoying Windows 11 almost now. Oh, there we go. We've got our different start buttons. It allows us to pick new ones as well, so you can upload and get your own if you wanted to. There's that. But you know what we're going with. Got the orb. And this is what I wanted. Icon margins. We don't need, I'm going to do small, but we don't need 50 points of padding in between each thing, or 50 pixels worth of padding in between each thing. That's ridiculous. Dynamic transparency, you can turn that on and off. And here we have stuff for our Explorer. All right, so let's click on Explorer and show you what we can do here. All right, so we've got different styles. We can do, you have to open and close this each time. So close it, now let's try it again with the Windows 10 ribbon. We just pop the ribbon down. Hey, look at all that stuff. It's like the old school Windows 10 ribbon. See what the Windows 7 command bar is like. Okay, and we've got this on top now with this. This is pretty handy too. It's going to be up to you which one you want to use. I'm kind of used to the ribbon. I like Windows 10's layout quite a bit, but you know, the command bar might be easier to work with Windows 7. You can pick the one you like and go with it. I'm going to go with this one. These icons are a bit colorful, and it's like a packet of Skittles dropped on my screen. All right, let's go into advanced. Custom start menu coloring, yes, why not? You can play with these colors. This is stuff I'm not going to go over right now. Oh, look at that glorious, but this looks so much better now. Another really cool thing that StartAllBack does, you see these icons now down here? They are now separately highlightable. And if I want to click on that, it brings up my standard volume stuff. So one thing to note, and I just found this out for you, you're not going to be able to use the Microsoft Store unless you go back into the Ultimate Windows 5 tweaker and make sure that application telemetry is enabled. You can disable telemetry, but you have to leave application telemetry on. But I'm also going to do a few other things, you know. I'm going to lock it down a little bit more after this is done. Anyway, let's go over here and grab EarTrumpet. Again, this is optional. It may ask me to sign in with an account, but we'll see. All right, it's given us a little notification here. So what this has done is it's given us a new volume icon. See this one right here? This is EarTrumpet. This is your old Windows stuff. I'm going to move this up here, and I'm going to find the one that says EarTrumpet and move it down here. And check this out. When you click on it, this is what we have now, and we have individual volumes for each application that's open. So one of the really cool things about EarTrumpet is beyond being able to, you know, see all your different audio sources and stuff. You got your speakers. You just drop that back down. We can right-click on programs, and then click here and tell them to output to a certain output. Like if you want it to go to your speakers or your headphones or whatever, you can have certain things go to certain outputs. Most people are not going to need that, but it's still handy just to give you the better control over each individual application. And it's much faster to get to the old school settings by right-clicking on it. You can click on Windows Legacy and then go to our old school playback devices here. This is still Windows 10. This is still Windows 7. Come on. I'm not going to mess with this over here on the side because I think they're going to do some new stuff with this. And I'm not sure what's going to happen with widgets, but now we're going to have widgets coming soon to the desktop. Maybe over here. Who knows? So I'm not going to mess with that stuff as of yet. All right, so the last thing I needed to do is give myself a nice desktop wallpaper. I'm also going to make this the lock screen. Why not? I don't care about fun facts and tips. Hey, we got a screensaver too. Oh, old school. Look at this. Old school.
You know I'll be watching that Mystify all night.
Let's get ribbons. There we go. That feels Yes. Wait. 11 minutes. I'm putting a screensaver on here, and then I'm gonna give this to somebody and see how the lock screen looks. You know, it's not bad. I think I'm satisfied with our work. Oh, we got more room here to snap. Just realized that. So speaking of snapping, there's one last thing I want to show you. Now, something called Power Toys. This was released for Windows 10. I believe we also had this back in the Windows XP days. Maybe it wasn't that far back. It's hard to remember, but Power Toys are a really cool collection of, I guess, little micro applications and stuff that are developed by people at Microsoft. Thank you everybody there who's working on these cool Power Toys. And these, you know what? Let's just download it. This is on the GitHub page. It's made by Microsoft. So go ahead and download Power Toys and install it. And then I'll show you what it does. Somebody called security. He wants me to sign in. I got a pro account. I ain't got to do no such thing. People with a home account, they got to sign in. Dismiss that. Still haven't uninstalled it yet. This is Power Toys. I said, there we go. This is Power Toys. So if we click on this, it's why is it not just there? This is easier. There we go. So Awake, you can mess with your power plan and stuff. I'm not going to go through all this color zone picker. This allows you to have a color picker anytime. Very good for productivity. Fancy Zones is the one I want to talk about the most. Because, you know, the Windows snapping, we got some new zones that are handy, but I like using Fancy Zones because it allows me to create my own zones by launching the editor. And if you have multiple desktops, you can create multiple different zones and have them span across different desktop displays. It's so cool. So we can just tell it to use like, oh, let's do columns. Let's do this one, priority grid. There we go. But I don't like all that padding in the middle. So we can create our own by going to create new layout. There we go, create new layout. Now a grid does not allow the zones to overlap, but a canvas allows them to overlap. It can be a bit of a trick to mess with some of the canvas stuff. So now I've got two zones. Let's do left and right. If you want these to be pixel perfect in the middle, you're gonna have to like do a little math to figure out where it is. Close enough for the video. Oh, we're so close. So we got those two. We can do half and half if we wanted to. And then I can do, if I want to do another one and make it all the way full, we can do that. So I'll do that now. If you want to make a bunch of weird ones, sometimes you'll have to like move this and then drag one around because it's going to be difficult to click on them and stuff, but you'll get there. Save and apply. So I've just created that layout. Okay, that's there. Close this out. Now I've just got three zones. We've got left, right, and then if I press up, it's going to go full. Made my own zones. And then we have these add-ons for the File Explorer. Could be handy. Image Resizer tool is awesome, and it's built right into Power Toys now. We can create new sizes and stuff, and what this allows us to do is once we go into our... This is actually so much faster to use now that I've made all these tweaks, but I can right-click on this and do Resize Pictures, and it will give me some options here for what size picture I want to do. And if you've added different custom sizes in there, those will be on the right-click menu as well. All right, I'm not going to go through all this stuff here, but, you know. Power Rename. I have not tried this, so. All right, so Quick Launcher. This is kind of like Launchy. I bet it works the same. Yeah, it sure does. Way back in the day, we had a thing called Launchy. Alt-space. And now I can type whatever I want to do. So let's say I want to do Firefox. Oh, look at that. Yep, it's Launchy. So you can just be anywhere on your computer, just chilling, and just be like, oh, I need to open something. Alt-space, and then type Firefox. And just open it right up. That's handy. So I haven't played with all these things. I mainly use it for the fancy zones, but I'm going to be using Power Toys Run a little bit more. So also, I want to mention something. We've got the search down here on the bottom, but if you want a way better search for Windows, let's go ahead and grab a copy of everything, and I'll put this all in the description. Everything searches everything on your computer and gives you an amazing database. It takes a second to initialize the first time, but it's like the best way to search. I concur. You know, I don't like putting things there, but you know, I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. Yes. Okay, install it as a service. Yes, there we go. I'm going to keep my settings in the installation folder. If you want to keep it in your app data folder, that's fine. Actually, it doesn't matter. I'm putting it in my installation folder just in case the index gets large. Run everything. So this will search. Oh, there we go. It's just looking through everything on your computer. It's a better search than this one for sure. Just keep searching for Firefox. I already know where it is. If you have any questions or want to see some further content now that I've got Windows 11 up and running on this laptop, let me know. Let me know what you think of this, and let me know what options you're using with your copy of Windows 11. Also, I'm curious, did you grab the Windows 10 Pro and upgrade to Windows 11? Or did you grab Windows 11 from the store? So let me know what you grabbed on Whokeys, and I'll see you in the comments.